Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, TDT Media presents another flagship episode of Third Down Thursdays. That amazing, wow, look at the sunglasses, rocking the glasses today.
I got you. I
I'm
got
digging
you.
it. That stunningly handsome man next to me, that's MJ. The guys in the background, the stunningly handsome young gentlemen are Cy and Connor. You'll see Connor a little bit, possibly Cy too. But that being said, MJ, my man, what's going on with you, brother? How are you?
I am great, sir. I finally got a real day off for the first time in a long time. I am living the dream. It's been a fantastic day. Really didn't do well. I was productive today, but I really didn't do much. Got Chipotle for lunch. That's my day off lunch. So got a nice giant burrito.
So, okay, I have a question. Because
Yes, sir.
due to shrinkflation and all that
Yes.
stuff, is are with the Chipotle down south, are the
Yeah.
burritos smaller down there too?
Oh no, everything's bigger in Texas, Bruce.
Oh.
We're experiencing 1 to 3 inches already. We're expecting about 2 more inches.
No, the burritos are pretty big. I mean, it still depends on the person who makes it, but no, burritos are good sized. They're not skimpy about their portions down here.
That must be nice living down there in the great old state of Texas.
Yeah, it's great. Big burrito consumer. Cy.
Big burrito. I'm a big
burrito guy. And you gotta and you gotta get chips and guac with it.
Little chips and guac action.
But like I get a burrito, a drink, chips and guac, good sized burrito. They stuff that guac full, and it's only like $16.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I said it. They stuff that guac full.
I bet they do.
Oh, they do, baby.
Anything else though? What else would you say other than get an amazing burrito?
I was actually pretty productive. So I put the pulled pork in the crock pot. We had pulled pork for dinner.
Oh, look at you!
Clean. Oh yeah, sauced it up. Put the broth in there, all the seasonings, all the sauces.
Okay.
And then cleaned up the house a little bit. Went and got a car wash.
Wow, dude, you went all out today.
Oh yeah, bought these glasses at the gas station today.
You're like, oh, these look cool.
Yeah, no, literally, I was walking back to get a
double
drink.
Take? Were you like,
yeah, and I was like, oh, does look good. Hold up. I was like, oh, I could wear those, and I like them because obviously, I'm blind. They fit over my glasses.
Oh wow, that's like it's like the old person thing, right?
Oh yeah, I wish I had the old the flip up sunglasses because I used to have the when I was really young I used to have the transition lenses where like they got dark when you're outside.
Oh yeah,
but I hated that because I would like walk outside to my car and they would transition when I got outside.
How long? I was say, how long would it take for them to transition though?
Like a minute, not long at all.
That's not bad at all. That's actually, I mean, that's a fairly decent.
No, it was good like when you went outside, but when you didn't want them to turn dark, then it would sometimes, and then you'd be sitting there like, okay, I have to wait like an awkward amount of time for these to go back to normal. But yeah, I forget sometimes how blind I am until like, so if I take off my glasses right now and just wear these sunglasses, like I am sitting a normal amount of distance away from my computer and stuff and my monitor right now, and the only words on my screen that I can read are the giant "How are you, MJ?" That's all on this screen I can read. I can't read any of y'all names at the bottom. I can't read any of the stuff on my sidebar, any of the banners or the names of the pictures. And like Bruce, there's like 2 of you.
I mean, twice the fun.
Which is, well, yeah, but it's just your bald head. So I don't know about. Other than that,
fair enough.
Who is Millhouse?
What?
I don't watch The Simpsons.
What person has not? Oh man.
Okay. I don't have something against The Simpsons. I'll watch the clips if they come on TikTok, but I don't. Couldn't tell you any. I know Bart. That's all I got.
I mean, who doesn't know Bart?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that I've got such a limited knowledge when it comes to The Simpsons, and it's not an anti-Simpson. Speaking of which, rest in peace to OJ.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That man had people signing NDAs on his deathbed.
Yeah,
And he claims he wasn't guilty.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now, the juice is not loose anymore. Oh gosh, what am I doing? I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Obviously, in case it wasn't clear, I was not alive during
I was
the
OJ
stuff.
I actually remember.
That's funny.
That's crazy. That's nice. That was good. Whoever pulled that was pretty good.
That's funny.
So no joke. That was like one of my first vivid memories from my childhood, because I used to come home from okay, so this is the reason why. So I would come home from playing outside or whatever, doing whatever it was, like coming home after school. And my elementary school was only a block away from my house, so I'd walk home.
Yeah.
Back when kids were allowed to walk home. And we won't talk about that part. But
no, we will. Why can't kids walk home anymore? What?
I don't know. But our society.
What they go get bit by the ooga booga in the bushes?
Yeah,
like what?
We got some creepy ass
back in my day, my mama said, "Go climb a tree." Like there's a pine. There's 3 pine trees across the street. Go climb them for the next hour. Okay.
I would love to watch you climb or something.
Okay. Hey, when I was younger, I could climb. Before I hurt my back, I could get up there.
Climb. These are some major talking points. Let me tell you.
But, we're gonna go on some rants today.
But like, no joke. So like, I would come home, and speaking of a rant, I would come home all excited, ready to go, ready to watch like Power Rangers, because that's what I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch Power Rangers, and know what was on his bed?
OJ
Simpson trial. The OJ Simpson trial, or like they would show highlights of him fleeing in the Bronco or whatever, and I get so angry about it. I'd be like, oh, what the heck? Like, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why it was such a like crazy case, right? Like
right.
Like I would come home from like playing like baseball even, or football, and like I didn't even know who OJ Simpson really was. I was like, oh, it's some guy.
Because wasn't this after he played?
Oh, significantly after. He retired. He retired back in like the 80s, like early 80s, like late 70s, early 80s.
Right. So he was just a bad TV
80s?
Analyst.
So
at that point, right?
And he was an actor too. He played an actor as well.
Ugh, that's unfortunate. By the way, check your phone. Yeah. So it was funny because for somebody who didn't watch any of this live, I mean, I knew about the case, but I never saw anything. We can announce that later if you want to.
100%. Let's go. That's a big ass news.
Yeah. We can do that right after this if we want to. Just screw Asai and Connor. They have no idea what's going on.
We have not asked how I am yet.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We'll get there after I talk about OJ.
You selfish son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm a terrible...
That's why he's everything. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
But yeah, screw me. No, so as somebody who only knew minimally about this case, my TikTok when OJ died was just full of OJ stuff. And so I basically like watched for the first time this whole trial.
Watch the 30 for 30.
There's a 30 for 30 on it?
There's a really
heck yes.
Good 30 for 30 for it.
Heck yeah.
It goes over all like the sinister stuff, and like it was over like so much on it. It's actually really, really good. I do remember the part of the case because my mom and dad were watching it that he tried on the gloves.
Yeah.
And they didn't fit.
That's because he had a pair of gloves on.
If they do not fit, you must have quit.
He already had a pair of gloves on. Why would a second pair of like latex gloves fit over another pair of gloves?
He had to put a first pair on so that way he didn't damage any of the potential DNA evidence that were inside the gloves. I whatever.
Whoop-de-doo. But okay, so the one thing I saw, and I'm curious your perspective since you actually saw this live. Apparently, the knife.
9-year-old.
some knife that was found at the scene belonged to his son,
Yeah, his son or whatever. So
but
there's
they
a few,
never. But
yeah, dude.
supposedly they never tested anybody else's DNA other than OJ.
So there's a huge conspiracy theory about it that said that like it wasn't OJ that actually killed them. It was OJ's son that killed Nicole
killed his
Brown
mom.
Simpson and also her boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
And dude, forgive me, I could be wrong about this whole thing, but like I think I don't think it was I don't remember if it was her boyfriend or if it was just a guy she was seeing or if it was just
I think it was her. I think it was her.
I think it was her
I think
boyfriend.
that was the whole. I think that was the whole theory was OJ went psycho on his ex and her boyfriend. But it was just interesting watching all of this because like I knew the memes and everything obviously because like there's the one really funny meme of him in the Ford Bronco with all the police chasing him and everything.
Right, that's just a given. Everyone knows that one.
And I love that meme, but like I didn't know any of the details other than that and the gloves, and so I watched a bunch of the stuff back, and it was just interesting to see. And then when it came out or whatever report, I don't know if it was true. Even if it isn't, I think it's funny.
Wifey jumping in.
Yeah, yes, exactly that.
Yeah,
that the family signed an NDA before they walked in the room when he was on his deathbed, and I'm like, just tell me you're guilty without telling me that you're guilty. But why would you? Okay, let's think about it from his perspective, though. It must have been real heavy on his chest because, like, for your family, why would you want that to be the last memory they have of you? To be like, yes, I killed my ex-wife.
Sign this.
Sign this, and I'll tell you the truth. I'd be like, no, I'd rather not know for a fact. I would rather
guess and or have a really, really good hunch.
Yeah, and I would rather be able to go.
Oh, I saw this.
I saw this. I don't know if that's photoshopped or not. If it's not, that's wild. But he was still tweeting up until the last couple days before he died. So it's possible.
His attorney actually said that the weekend of Easter, he was chilling at his attorney's house on the couch drinking a beer.
Yeah, and he planned to go golfing like 2 weeks after, it was announced that he died. Like he said in a video a couple weeks before, he was like, "Yeah, in like a month, I got tee times booked. I'm gonna go golf." I was like, "Dang, that's a quick turnaround."
Quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah. Speaking of quick turnarounds, how are you, Bruce?
He got through that back nine real quick.
The back nine of life.
Anyway, no, I'm good. Well, before the show started, to fill y'all in on before the show started, I was texting with the MJ account, letting him know for the past 36 to 48 hours, even a little bit more in the time frame for the family has been a little runny, to say the least. And so what ended up happening was it's either we got food poisoning from our daughter's first birthday party, which, by the way, I'll explain about that, went extremely well. It was super hot out, but yeah, it was hot out. It was in the low to mid 80s, which was insane.
Ooh, hot.
Yeah, out of nowhere. But I will go over that in a second. But anyway,
so toasty.
We either got food poisoning from the food, or my daughter brought something home from school, like a little stomach virus.
Probably that one.
Yeah.
Those nasty germy kids in preschool or whatever.
So no joke, I have not gotten like a stomach virus in probably since I was in elementary school. And when I tell you, MJ, that there was water coming out of all orifices of my body, it was water. Not all, but you get the clue without going into
your ears.
Without going into extensive.
Bruce sneezes and water just comes out everywhere.
And then so what made it worse is usually when I'm sick, I need to be cold. I always need to be in a cold environment. I'm very
yeah.
I always have to be cold because I run on a hot temperature. So what didn't help was when I had a stomach bug. I was sweating. I was getting cold sometimes, but I was still sweating, and like it was just a terrible situation. So I come downstairs in my area down here because it's usually colder. This is usually where I sleep when I'm sick. To not only because of that, but also because I like to make sure that my wife doesn't get sick or
Right.
like her. Believe it or not, I do that for a reason, babe. So I'm down here, right, and I'm sleeping on the couch. This is the most uncomfortable ass couch that you could possibly sleep on. And I told my wife before I loved it and it was amazing, but like now that I'm approaching that big 440 number, I'm not lying to you. Right now, my shoulder is still freaking hurting. My back is still hurting from laying on this damn thing.
We need a trainer. We need.
Hey, I'm not even kidding. I busted out today. I busted out the foam roller and I busted out the massage gun just so that way I can feel better from sleeping on that damn couch for 2 days straight.
Call Rocco.
Oh.
You need the trainer.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But yeah, man, no. So like everything's good though. So today was the first day. Ooh, keep burping. Let's see. There you go. Today was the first day that I somewhat Today was the first day I somewhat felt better, and I was like, I'm gonna. I watched last night, like when I was still sick. Watched the Bulls game. Look, that's the one thing that's kind of cool is like my wife was amazing. She took my daughter upstairs. She did full-time mommy duty and like let me kind of recover. So I watched both basketball games last night, which was great. So today, fast forward again today, I had a marketing event for work to go to, and then I also had a meeting which ended up getting postponed. Go figure. But today I ended up going to this marketing event. It said marketing event. While there, I was like, so we get complimentary stuff. By the way, there was a complimentary
Nice.
food, complimentary food, and like one complimentary drink you could have. So I was like, all right, cool. So when I mean drink, they say it's an alcoholic beverage. You could have one complimentary, but it was like a choice of beer. So it was like Coors Light, Miller Lite, and something else. Can't remember what the other one was. Basically the generics. Yeah. And I was like, oh, Bud Light. And I was like, all right, I'll take Coors Light and I'll get a burger. I'm like, why not? Let's just jump right into the freaking
First thing this man has eaten in
first thing I've eaten in
2 days.
In 2 days. That's the first thing I've eaten in 2 days. I was like, let's get a burger and a beer. Let's see what happens. So far, so good. I've been feeling bad. I'm even drinking a seltzer right now. So if randomly you see me sprint behind, there's a reason for it.
It's fine. We got 2 replacements in the background just waiting. We can bring them in, take you out.
For real. But no, everything went well. I feel better. I feel a lot better with that. And then rewind a little bit further. Daughter's first birthday weekend was a complete success. Obviously, It's her first one. She has no idea. But man, let me tell you, dude, hosting like 50, 55, 60 people.
How'd that TV setup go in the garage?
It was fine. It was fine. Like there was no issues or anything like that. I got everything done. Like believe it or not, I got everything cleaned. I got everything ready to go. My setup down here was perfect. Everything was clean. Everything was all good. Upstairs, we took care of all that. Outside was good. We had one tent set up in the front, one tent set up in the back. Yeah, I mean there was just more people than we not anticipated, but just like we didn't anticipate it being that warm. And people were complaining about the weather and how hot it was and how hot they were. But I was like, I'm not turning on the air conditioning because it's already 77 degrees in my house and people are walking in and out. So sorry.
Right.
But there's nothing I can do about the weather, Jackie. For those of you that are that 70s show fan, that's what that's it's a reference. But yeah, man. Yeah. The amount of the amount of gifts that this little girl got was amazing. She stole the show as always. We did a little smash cake for her and everything.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was absolutely fun times. But other than that, though, man, back at it, ready to go, kicking ass, taking names, baby. That being said, MJ, where do you want to go?
Got it. Well, you want to make our little announcement that I just found out like 5 minutes ago?
Oh shit! I guess we should probably let the guys know too.
I mean,
Cy and Connor don't even know about this.
No, nobody does other than us. And we didn't even know about it until today.
Until now.
Yeah. So, as of just now, we officially are an affiliate with Fanatics. So we will have our own link that you can use. So if you want to buy pretty much any sports apparel, hats, jerseys, jackets, sweatshirts, t-shirts,
anything
whatever.
from Fanatics.
You will be able to go through TDC Media's
Website
link, and then we'll get a little cut of that.
It starts, boys. It starts.
Yes. So obviously not. It's cut for Cyan Connor. Just for context, it's kind of like an Amazon affiliate link. That content creators and stuff will have. So we're very excited to start working with Fanatics. Some people I know in the industry have done this before, and it's worked out very well for them. So I'm excited, and I love Fanatics. I've used it as a website personally a lot of times, so I'm very excited to start down that road. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Congratulations to Caitlin Clark on being the #1 pick in I said NBA on the WNBA draft. By the way, if you can, Connor or Cy, I do kind of want to talk about this at some point during the show. When you guys pull the video of that creepy ass, what do you? Is that like a big ass freaking thing of potato salad or some shit?
It's cookie dough.
Jesus, what are we doing?
My wife's making cookies.
What are we doing?
No,
what's going on here?
You remember my mama's cookies?
Whoa, pause.
Talking about chocolate chip cookies here, brother. Did you ever have my mom's Hurley
cookies? I did. I remember them being absurdly good.
Yeah, so Paige knows how to make those now. Uh-huh. They live on for another generation, brother.
Yeah. Look at you. Oh.
I am. Oh yeah, and I could not care less. We just made an announcement. We're about to transition into another segment. I do not care.
That being said,
you'll ever have.
Oh, it's about that time. We can bring the guy in. And it's time for the greatest, the most amazing segment that you guys aren't watching, but you are too now. Segment in podcast history. His name, Connor Davis, host of the Davis Division, baby. Let's go. Let me talk to you.
Yeah. I've got I'm in a big Otis Redding mood. I was jamming to Otis Redding before I came on, so I'm in a big Otis Redding mood. You know, I got my soul going on. So if people know who Otis Redding is, I don't imagine most anybody will know who that is, but I hope y'all do. But that is very good news. I just bought a Jameis Winston jersey, but it wasn't on Fanatics. It was on Dick's Sporting Goods. So, and I emphasize sporting goods, right? So I bought it. It was like $30 because he's not on the Saints anymore. But I wanted to have
Dicks.com. Dicks.com.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder what is the link for.
Dicks.com.
Is it actually?
It's actually Dicks.com.
Okay, but what is our link? Is it like fanatics.com/code/TDT/?
Give me a sec. I'll figure it out.
He's gonna take a look. But anyway.
Good. I thought he was gonna tell me Paige was pregnant or something. So I was.
Woo! Can you imagine? Hey, can you imagine if we had like a partnership with Dick's? Oh, I would go to town on that one. Pause.
That's where I bought my 2 most recent jerseys. Was at Dick's. I didn't buy them online.
Bought Dick's? What?
No, I bought my jerseys at Dick's. Plus, I got a buddy that works there. Gives me his little discount, if you know what I mean.
Gives you the Dick's discount.
The Dick's discount. Oh, we are going down a road, boys. What do you got for us, Connor?
Well, it's usually about like 10. I don't remember what it was, 10 to 20%. But sometimes I like to see it 100% off. If you know what I'm talking about.
Well, it depends on how much you have in return.
Wink.
We're experiencing 1 to 3 inches. We can expect about 2.
Well, I thought that since y'all are going to have this play-in tournament, whatever, y'all are going to talk about that. I'm not going to include that because y'all are going to already talk about your standings and whatnot. There's not much news to be in sports world unless you want to talk about Haley Van Lith transferring to TCU. But I don't imagine y'all want to talk about that. So I had an interesting idea for today. So let me pull up this thing so I know when to cut it. I had an interesting idea for today. Before we get into the draft, because I know our big draft show is going to be, okay, we're going to look at these people getting picked. I had an idea that I want to go through the first round, and I want to kind of pick out trade scenarios, possible trade scenarios of what teams we would think would want to trade back or trade up
okay. I like that.
to get
I like that.
a higher pick in the draft. So without further ado, I guess we can get started if y'all are ready. I have all the teams put up here. I think we can agree that 1, 2, and 3, so the Bears, the Commanders, and the Patriots are probably going to stick with their picks. We can agree with that. That's not – we don't even want to go.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because I don't imagine that they are going to trade back because they're in a very good position. So the first team I want to point out is the Arizona Cardinals. And we saw last year that the Arizona Cardinals are no stranger to trading back in the draft to acquire more draft capital, as they have 2 first-round draft picks this season. Now, I think
4th and 27th.
the last time someone had 3 first-round draft picks, if I'm not mistaken, was the Miami Dolphins back in 2020. So it's been a couple years since somebody has 3 first-round draft picks. If the Cardinals were to trade back in the first round to somebody with 2 first-round draft picks, a.k.a. the Vikings or something, they would have 3 first-round draft picks, and they have never had 3 first-round draft picks in a draft ever. So this would be the first time the Cardinals have done this, which would be interesting. So let's think about the possible teams that would want to trade up to number 4. In my mind, it could be, the Vikings. People are saying, hey, the Vikings want J.J. McCarthy. I don't really like that much. But we could say, hey, the Vikings are going to trade up to number 4. If this happens, first of all, who do you see trading up to number 4? I think, personally, the Cardinals stay put. They just traded Hollywood Brown. I don't know if it was trade or free agency, but they got rid of Hollywood Brown. And they're going to want a good wide receiver replacement. And what better replacement than the 4th best wide receiver prospect of all time, Marvin Harrison Jr. So what y'all think?
All right. So real quick, off the top of my head, and I got to check this to make sure, because I don't remember what his contract, because he just signed a contract. What's Kyler Murray's contract right now at? What years is left? So he signed a
4 years left, I think.
4 years left, yeah. So he signed 5 years, $230.5 million contract extension that runs through 2028. Well, they've kind of handcuffed themselves a little bit, I think, with that, unless they're going to end up getting rid of him as well. So I don't know. I kind of might be in the same boat as you, Connor, with saying that Zona might be staying pat because that's an awfully huge contract for them to want to offload unless they completely back end it and they're paying him years after he's already off that roster. And then that's also convincing me that J.J. McCarthy is going to be the next Will Levis. And which, in a way, if you guys don't remember from last year, Will Levis was somehow predicted. Was it last year or 2 years ago now?
Last year.
Will Levis was predicted to some people predicted Will Levis to be in the top 3 potentially.
That was
top
me.
10.
I've had him in number 4, I think.
That was me. I could totally see him staying or the Cardinals staying pat just because of the sheer fact that I'm sorry, unless what Harbaugh is doing, the propaganda that Harbaugh is spewing out. McCarthy's the man. He's the best quarterback. He's great. And the fact that people are still reading into this clown, sorry, he's not a clown. I shouldn't call him a clown, but it's a clown take.
I think he's smart. I
don't care.
He is in salesman mode right now. He is trying to get as much draft capital as he can for his team. This is not something that he genuinely thinks.
That's not a good. That's not what we're talking about right now. Being a salesman right now is completely different from being a GM for a team. So what I'm saying right now is that's an absolute clown take. And if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I'm staying pat and I'm not reading into that, and I'm not letting anyone trade up. I'm picking Marvin Harrison Jr. in that spot because I think the first 3 picks that are off the board are going to be quarterbacks.
I agree. MJ.
I think that's the most logical. I'll be honest, I was not listening to the question because I was trying to figure this thing out. Who's going to trade down?
We're going through the first round. We're going to find trade scenarios for each of the picks in the first round. So
Okay,
we've
okay.
established that the fourth
Potential.
pick, it goes to the Cardinals, and they're no stranger to trading down in the draft. They did it last year if they were going to do it this year. And Bruce and I are like, okay, well, they
I
need
think
to
they
stay
might
put.
do no, I think the Bears might do a Texans and use 9 to trade up. I know Bruce might disagree with this, and that's fine. But
I have a point on that too.
what'd you say?
He said he has a point on it.
Okay.
Continue.
Let me just put it this way: if anybody wants to go up, 4 is the spot. I don't think the Chargers move. The Giants need to stay there.
Hold
the
up, let's stay
Giants-
with the Cardinals. We're gonna go by pick. I don't want to confuse anybody.
So the
Let's go by
Arizona
pick.
Cardinals pick number 4. Is anyone trading up for pick number 4, MJ?
I think if anybody does, it's the Bears.
Okay, well, let's talk about that scenario. What do you see the Bears trading up to 4 to get? I mean, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. for sure,
Yeah.
but how do they get number 4? Do the Bears
it-
have the draft capital in order to trade up to number 4? Would that
Yeah,
trade
it's
a player with it?
9 and a future first round pick because there's nobody you're going to get in next
That's
year's
exactly-
draft
that's
that's going
exactly
to
what it would
be
be.
because there's nobody you're going to get in next year's draft that's better than Marvin Harrison.
That's exactly
So-
what it'd be this year, the 9th pick this year, and the next year's first round. Potentially, if Poles is stupid, and I don't think he is, potentially the second round pick that they got from the Panthers too.
Yeah. So if Marvin Harrison is as advertised, which I believe if anybody in this draft is going to be, it would be Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously. I think then it is worth it. Minnesota could beat that, but I don't think Minnesota goes all the way up to number 4. The example I saw recently, and I think this is a really good one, is in the draft where the Bills took Josh Allen. Everybody thought the Bills were going to move up because they had multiple first round picks, and everybody thought they were going to make a big jump to the top of the draft to go get a quarterback. They stayed down in the more mid rounds of the draft, got Josh Allen, and kept their draft capital, and now here they are today. Obviously, you can
Allen,
you can make questions about some of the decisions they've made afterwards, but they were able to find their guy without sacrificing a lot of their future.
There's only 2 teams also I could see ahead of the Vikings that could potentially trade up from that spot or draft a quarterback ahead of that spot, in my opinion.
Between 3 and 11.
4 and 11.
Well, let's keep going until we get to those.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
If we're, are you done with the Cardinals, MJ? Okay, so the 5th overall pick, and me and Bruce talked about this just a while ago, is Jim Harbaugh's in salesman mode, right? So he's saying, hey, JJ McCarthy, although these other 3 guys are probably going to get picked before him, JJ McCarthy is the best quarterback in this draft class. He's in salesman mode, and Bruce thinks this is clown, whatever. I think it's genius. He is a new head coach going into the NFL since what, 13? It's been 13 years or however many years, 12 years, 11 years since he's been back in the NFL. He's trying to get back into the system. He's trying to get back, and he wants to make it as easy as possible for him to do this. So he's in sales mode. He's saying, hey, if you want this guy so bad, trade up to number 5. And I think that somebody's going to take the bait. And if there's anybody that's going to take the bait, it's the Minnesota Vikings. They just acquired another first-round draft pick, and this is almost indicative of what they are going to do, trading up and drafting a quarterback like J.J. McCarthy. So I think if anybody's going to take this Chargers 5th overall pick, it's the Vikings, because they're so desperate. They have Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback. They are so desperate. And I think they trade up to number 5.
Here's the only problem with that.
Okay, you're gonna say the exact same thing. Go ahead, MJ.
I don't think JJ McCarthy is the type of quarterback that they want to draft.
I don't like him either.
I
think.
got? Well, I think they're much more likely to take some. So JJ McCarthy isn't the type of quarterback that they've had almost ever. If you think about all of the Vikings quarterbacks over the years, they are gunslingers. JJ McCarthy is not a gunslinger. So, like, you go all the way back to even Dante Culpepper, Brett Favre, and now in the more recent years, the Sam Bradford, the Case Keenum, the Kirk Cousins, even Nick Mullins last year. Like the quarterbacks that succeed there, they sling the football. So JJ McCarthy is not that guy. He may succeed in a different type of system. He would not succeed there. I agree with what Jack says. Much better in a McVay Shanahan type offense. So that's not Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota is going to do that. Sai is right. I think Minnesota is more of the Michael Penix or the Bo Nix tier, where they could get them later in the first round or even make a move in the second round. So with that being said, I don't think Minnesota trades up for number 5 because they're going to sacrifice too much, where right now they need to build talented players and as many of them as they can get.
I agree. If
Sai, I see you smirking in the background. What? That was
I
not
didn't
on
even hear
purpose.
a sound.
Or was that Bruce? Bruce.
Hands on the iPad.
If I were the Vikings, I stay. You have draft capital. If I were them, you draft something really good at 11.
I saw that. I saw that one.
Sorry, Connor. Go ahead.
You draft something really good at 11. Say, okay, well, maybe JJ McCarthy falls to 11. If you really want him, draft him. But in the last mock draft I had them drafting an O lineman to help out that rookie quarterback. So they draft a quarterback and a lineman in the first round. They don't trade up, and that's fine. But it's just something about the Vikings and what all these draft analysts are saying and stuff is something's gonna happen. Something's gonna bite. And I mean, it's just I'm kind of starting to believe it. Bruce,
So, okay, real quick. Obviously, to make any trades, you have to have willing participants from both parties.
Exactly.
And while I do like the idea of like, okay, if Minnesota wants to trade up, they'll trade up. But I think the guy that they want is going to be there at 11 regardless. And because of that, I think that Harbaugh, while I did say that his sales tactics are clownish, I do think he's very smart and very what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, he's just very, very methodical. There you go. He's very methodical with his with what he says, despite the fact that most people think that he can be somewhat idiotic with things. So that being said, who are the starting wide receivers right now for the Chargers?
The Chargers, Joshua Palmer and Quentin Johnston.
Exactly. They just got rid of Keenan Allen to the Bears. They also let go of Mike Williams.
Michael Williams.
Yeah, they just got rid of him as well. So again, I think this is another spot where let's not overthink this. They need a receiver. I think this is a spot where Malik Neighbors goes, and it'll help out Herbert and hopefully help the adjustment for Harbaugh, go back into the NFL be easier.
Well, you never know with the draft, right? What if the Vikings think, hey, if the Giants get that 6th pick and it falls to them and nobody has drafted JJ McCarthy? Not that I think the Giants.
There's always a what if. That's always a what if.
The Giants would be so stupid.
Oh yeah,
have
but
JJ McCarthy and Daniel Jones.
I think you're also going to have. I think at that point you're going to have Daniel Jones 2.0 on your roster with JJ McCarthy. Just my opinion.
I would laugh at them. Neighbors.
Who you got next?
Feed families.
Well, let's keep going. We'll get to the 6th. I think the Giants stay put.
Yeah.
I don't see the Giants moving here. And then the 7th, I know Jack said that he does not see Titans trading down. I actually disagree. I think that the Titans have made every single team in this AFC South besides the Colts have made big moves this offseason. And the Titans making those big moves are saying, okay, well, if we were to draft, say, a tackle, which we just traded for a tackle from the Browns. So we have a tackle, even though he might not be Joe Alt. If we were to draft a wide receiver here, we just signed Calvin Ridley to a very big deal. Okay, well, we have this tackle that might not be Joe Alt, but he's good enough for now. So with that being said, we might want to wait another year to get another Joe Alt type prospect in the next year's draft. So let's acquire that draft capital. Let's trade back and see what we can get for that number 7th pick. And that's my mindset with Tennessee.
Dude, I don't know if they even trade back either, just because this sheer fact that the Titans, like, their whole identity is gone with Henry going to Baltimore. And I think it's kind of a transitional type year for them. So to be honest, I think it's ideal right now for them to go a different route. So I could see them saying, okay, let's get a tackle here. Let's draft an offensive tackle. So that way we can give our quarterback, like Will Levis, I think is their starter right now. Give our quarterback, while not the best, and even next year's draft. Actually, no, next year. Next year's draft class, the quarterback isn't as strong as this year. Yes, it is a very heavy offensive line draft class, but I don't know. I just don't. I think that they could. I can see both scenarios here. Okay, so I'm gonna be flip floppy on this one. I can see them staying pat. But I could also see them trying to get capital and building that team, because I think. Okay, so Connor, I'm actually with you a little bit on this. Now that I'm like really talking about it out loud, because I can see them saying, we are in a transitional phase of our team right now. We just lost the identity, like I said, of Henry going to Baltimore. So let's try to change this. Let's try to get like 2 picks. 2 first rounds, I don't know, like maybe mid to late first rounder and a second round pick for that pick right now, depending on who you can fleece. Don't give me. I mean, the Bears have been fleeced before. I've seen that shit happen. But I mean, we could go to the Mitchell Trubisky trade. Idiots. Anyway, but yeah, no, I could. You know what? I'm kind of going to lean that they could possibly. I could see it going both ways. I'll just say it like that.
MJ.
I don't think they move, and the reason for that is I think they take Joe Alt. Because that is the way that Mike Vrabel builds his teams. He's not going to take flesh.
He's not their coach anymore.
Mike Vrabel's not there anymore.
Goodness, he's not.
Yeah, and they just drafted a tackle last draft. I don't even know who the Titans head coach is now. I can't remember. Brian Callahan, that's right.
Who?
Brian Callahan. He was on the Bengals, I think. Was he on the Bengals? Yeah,
yep.
He was offensive coordinator for the
Bengals.
My brain legitimately spaced back 2 years. All right. I still don't think they move, because I don't think, even if the Vikings were to move up, that's the only one.
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Talking about it.
That's what I'm saying. I think they want one of those guys, unless Minnesota were to give them 11 and 23. I don't see them moving out of 7. I think that's the only scenario in which they move out of 7.
But you gotta think, trading up in the draft isn't, you don't have just draft picks to trade for draft picks. You can trade players for draft picks.
Yeah,
so you don't necessarily have to just trade. A lot of people do it. The Eagles traded for AJ Brown with the draft pick for the Titans. It's been done a lot of times, actually. A lot of people include players in their draft pick trades.
Yeah, but you don't really see those. A lot of those.
No, you don't see them often. But I'm saying it could happen, which is I don't want to riddle out that possibility. But
I think that's the only situation in which they trade down is Vikings give 11 and 20.
The Vikings. Okay. Well, I don't see the Vikings trading up behind the Giants. If the Vikings were going to trade up, it's going to be above that 6th pick, because they want to make sure, hey, the Giants aren't going to draft a quarterback at number 6.
What if the Giants don't take a quarterback at number 6?
I don't think they will. But you don't know what these guys are thinking. You don't know,
right.
Hey, JJ McCarthy might be the actual best quarterback in this draft class. We're going to draft him at 6. It's going to be a steal. You don't know what they're thinking. Nobody had Jahmyr Gibbs going in the first round last year, and he went in the first round to the Lions.
Okay,
it's fine. Connor thinks Caleb Williams is the best quarterback. So,
but here's the other thought that you got to put into effect, like a thing here. Like there's how many drafts have there been? 85 plus, 82, 80, 85 around there, like drafts like that been done for the NFL. So you got to think that the vast majority of those men didn't pan out. First
used to be like
15 round. Right. So let's pump the brakes on that. All right, next one. We got the Falcons, huh?
The Falcons. And this is one that I actually wrote down as somebody who would trade down. Like I said, there's teams that have done really well in this offseason, and the Falcons are one of them. They signed Kirk Cousins thinking that he's going to be their franchise guy. and they were really, really good last year. All they really needed was a quarterback, right? So they're going to keep that in mind, saying, hey, we're going to go into this draft saying we just got our piece of our puzzle that we really needed, but maybe we don't have those corner pieces yet to finish that puzzle. Maybe we don't have those side pieces yet, but we have the majority of the center. But we can still get those corner pieces in the later picks in the draft. So we have this number 8 pick that is so highly desirable for some of these teams. We're going to be open to trading down. And that might just happen with the Falcons.
So here's my thing. Offensively, I think the Falcons are at a point now where they're starting to say, okay, we're kind of shoring things up. Defensively, I think if I remember correctly, they were kind of middle of the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the spot where you could see a first defensive player off the board here, boys. I think you can see. Some people could call it a little high, but I can see Florida State's Verse going off the
I
board.
love Jared Verse.
I can see him going off the board right here because I think that they need a little bit better pass rush down there in Atlanta. And dude, I like what they're doing. I really like what they're doing down there. Even though a lot of former Chicago Bears, including front office staff, are currently advising down there as well. But we won't talk about that.
Well, it's crazy when the ownership doesn't suck how much better the front office can get.
Fair point. That's a great point too.
Chicago White Sox.
Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. I actually really like the Falcons as a trade down candidate. I think kind of like Jack's point, I think one more good piece on offense and one more good piece on defense. And they could be doing something special. So, I would love even if they go like O-line corner and they can get just a better, if they trade down to what did Jack say, 12 or 13, go down a few picks, get another early second or late first, however they can figure it out. Get me another O-lineman because you're going to have to make sure that Kirk Cousins is protected. I don't care how you think your O-line was last year. You need to make sure that it is taken care of. And so if that means drafting O-line with your first pick, even if you don't think you need it, you do it.
No, that's fair too, especially because of Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles injury to make sure he's protected. I could
that needs to be the best offensive line in this league other than Aaron Rodgers' offensive line, which don't get me started on that nut job today, please.
I agree. That needs to be a big reevaluation in this upcoming draft. But I love Dallas Turner, and I don't know if I did a draft preview on him or not, but I did do a lot for him into looking up a lot of his stuff. He's very, very good off the line. Like, he's super explosive, but he can also drop back in coverage, and that's something Jared Verse is not super versatile in.
Yep.
So if you were to say, hey, we want that type of guy. We want that type of versatility on our team. And say, hey, if I want this guy coming off the line, I can have him just shooting off the line. But if I want him going back in coverage, I can have that as well. And Dallas Turner is the best pick right here at number 8. And he won't be there at 12 or 13. There's no way.
Are we just doing top 10?
Yeah, we probably should do top 10.
Okay, so the Bears
are
number 9, which is another team I have on here written down. I'm
gonna assume that you have them moving down, knowing you.
Now, this is my mindset, right? I don't work
this is my mindset.
I don't work like the Bears, Bruce. I don't think, I'm going to draft a wide receiver here, and you need to draft a defensive player here. If I'm the Bears, I draft a defensive player here. If I think that, hey, I'm okay with Caleb Williams, and I think he's good enough to have just DJ Moore, I might trade back and acquire more draft capital.
I'll go first, Bruce.
That's not something.
I'll take care of it.
But considering the circumstances that this is really Ryan Poles' make or break year, I'm gonna have to say he stays put here and draft someone here.
Wait, Connor finally realized that it's his make or break year.
I don't think it's his make or break.
It took me 3 months to get this man to realize that this is Ryan Poles' contract year, not literally, but metaphorically.
I think they should trade back, though. If I'm the Bears, I'm trading back.
He figured it out. I don't care what they should do. That's not what they're going
to.
I don't even think. Why would you trade back? Why would you trade?
They are
back?
going to take Bruce, I'll handle it. You don't even have to. I'll handle it. They're going to take a wide receiver. Their strength last year was their defense. Now, granted, they were a bad football team, so strength was relative. But their strength was their defense. Offense is what they need to focus on. They need to support whoever that rookie quarterback is. Assuming it's Caleb Williams, they need to support him to the best of their ability. So if they want to take a tackle, that's fine. If they want to take a really high-value offensive lineman, that's fine too. I just think the value of wide receiver at 9 is really good. And I think that's what they're going to do, and I think that's what they should do. Taking defense there, you're going to be reaching whoever you pick. Even if it's Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner could end up being the second best player in this draft. It's very possible, but I still think that that's a reach given what assets you currently have on the team. And yes, you have 2 picks in the top 10. You're making those picks after trading the number 1 pick last year.
So you're saying if Dallas Turner is available at number 9, you don't think they would think, okay, this is the best defensive player in the draft.
They might think
we might want to go ahead and draft him.
They might think it, but I don't think they do it.
No, I don't think they're trading down. And everything that I've been told here in Chicago, they're not moving. They
won't move. Not at 9.
They're not moving from the 9th spot. And if Rome Odunze does drop to that spot, like expect him to be picked by the Chicago Bears. And they need somebody else. Like there's no guarantee. I'm sorry, Keenan Allen's on the wrong side of 30. And I've made this argument before. You need to support. You need to make sure that you have you'll have a 3-headed monster for at least 2 years. A year, 2 years. Okay. And then if you want to re-sign Keenan Allen for say 2-3-year contract, okay, cool. Do a 2-year with a third-year team option. So that way you're able to let him walk, and then you already have Odunze or whoever Neighbors, probably not Neighbors. I don't think Neighbors going to drop that far. And you already have that wide receiver already filled. You already have both receiver spots filled.
Well, Connor, think about it this way. Why was Patrick Mahomes, even given his incredible talent, able to succeed so well at a young age? Because he had
an O-line, really good O-line.
And an O-line. He had Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and a stud O-line.
And according to PFF, the Chicago Bears had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
I don't believe that.
I'm not the pass block win rate. No, see, this is where you're wrong.
Oh, you're just going by pass block win rate. You're not going by
pass block win rate. No, pass block win rate and run block win rate. The Bears had one of the best.
Those stats are flawed though, because that doesn't mean the snap play actually succeeded. Because I can win my
individual.
Right, I can win my snap.
One of the best as well.
Yeah, and that's cool.
But I know. I mean, because they are. It's not the Bears because they were terrible. Maybe it's because they had a bad quarterback that couldn't read.
No, that's totally part of it. And that was my biggest argument all along about Justin Fields was he made their O-lines look worse than they were because it's really hard for an O-line with a scrambling quarterback like that who has no idea where he's going next. But I don't love the win rate stat. I use it to my advantage when I can, but
when it's at my advantage, you don't use it. I see you, jackass.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, who do we got next? We got Connor.
Well, I really have one. If y'all didn't want to go probably the full first round, I assume.
No,
it'd be too long. But
yeah,
the 10th spot, I see the Jets staying. If y'all think
O-line, yeah,
they stay, draft the O-lineman. The Vikings, we already decided they're going to trade up. And the Broncos was one that I had highlighted but didn't really want to talk about right now. Just something I wanted to say is like Sean Payton does not really like trading back.
Saints trade down for sure.
Saints are going to trade down. Saints trade down to like the 29th pick.
Oh, you think Saints trade down?
Yeah.
Okay, I just love Jared Verse so much that if he was right there at 14, I would want to draft him.
I don't think so. I think he would end up drafting up. Then we probably go interior lineman there. Interior offensive lineman.
I know. They won't draft the interior. They'll draft the tackle.
Can we just think about the universe where the Packers or the Jets take defensive lineman?
Oh, wow. That'd be hilarious. No help.
And Aaron Rodgers again doesn't have a first-round offensive player taken.
Is it offensive player or is it offensive skill player?
So for the Packers, it was skill player. I think they
Okay.
drafted one offensive lineman in the first round in the entire time Rodgers was there.
Jeez.
But for
Yeah.
skill player, the last one was Javon Walker in 2003.
Jeez.
Now,
I
did
Right.
want to do one more pick before we kind of ended it off, because this is one that I really want to talk about, that I'll talk about in the mock draft next week with me and Nate. The Colts at number 15. This will be the last pick we do, because we'll just round it off at the top 15.
Ooh.
I see now there is a something in me that I'm seeing that the Jaguars, a lot of people like Quinion Mitchell. And I think the Jaguars are one of those teams. Although the Colts need a cornerback here, whether you think Quinion Mitchell's the best cornerback, Terry Arnold's the best quarterback, Cooper DeJean, whatever you think, this is the draft, right? You have to be cutthroat. So if you're sitting here saying, okay, well, Quinion's going to fall to 17, that's not the mindset you have to have in the draft. You have to say, hey, we have to get this guy. If this is our guy in the first round, no questions asked, no matter what. So for me, I like the fact that the Jaguars are going to trade up to 15 with the Colts, kind of just do a little bit of trade right there, give them a little extra, a little something, and they get Quinion Mitchell at they get Quinion Mitchell at 15, and the Colts go to 17 and get Terry and Arnold if they want to.
That's only 100 points. You're gonna have to. I'm looking at the draft point thing too. So that's a fairly even trade there.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a fourth round pick. Like, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, but you know that, hey, the Jaguars like this guy so much, they're going to get that guy because they say, hey, Quinion Mitchell is the man that we want in Jacksonville. He's the best cornerback in this draft. We've seen him. We've seen his tape. Well, yada, yada, yada. We're going to go to 15, make sure nobody gets him, and we're going to get him there.
Jack, it's not a freebie. Sorry, can you put that comment on the screen? It's not a freebie if they think they get value and get the player they want. I think what Connor's proposing is both of those franchises in that case get the corner that they want, and then the Jags would have to give something up, but really it's a win-win. It's not necessarily a freebie. And I agree with you guys. I think the Jags do trade up. I don't know if it's for Quinion. I think they trade up to get the corner that they want.
It might not be Quinion, but they get that corner that they want. That they
also need. DeJean does not go at 17. He's not going that high.
He's actually PFF's top corner.
Oh, he pulls the PFF.
He's somebody's top corner.
If PFF has him as the top corner because he was the top testing corner in combine stats.
But who wants a? I'm not saying this to be like, who wants a white cornerback? Let's be for real. When I used to grow up saying that I was going to be years ago that I was going to be the most successful white cornerback in the NFL as a joke, and there still has yet to be a white successful cornerback.
Jason Sehorn.
But who was? Yeah,
Jason Sehorn
who is that?
It was a super successful white cornerback.
Who is that? Not for the last 20 years.
He played for the Giants.
Like 20 years ago?
No, he retired in 2003, Bruce.
I was
not alive.
So like I said, there hasn't been a successful white corner in 21 years. And Cooper DeJean was guarding farmers in Nebraska. And we think he's about to come out here and guard DK Metcalf? Really? I don't care if Cooper DeJean is quick. He's not going to guard DK Metcalf. AJ Brown is going to moss him in 7 different languages. Like, Cooper DeJean isn't going to know what country he's in.
He won't know what farm he's at.
He won't know his corn from his soybeans. He won't even
toast.
Yeah,
burnt toast. Oh,
he's gonna be asking to go back to milking the cows on Monday morning. Like,
was he seriously? Like, is that how he trained for real?
I have no idea. I just know he went to the University of Iowa, and I'm making so many stereotypical farm jokes. But no, like, he played in crappy competition. I don't know what he did against Marvin Harrison. I haven't watched any of his tape whatsoever. I saw his combine; it was cool. But like, yeah, but like, I've seen some of his numbers, like, from playing in games, and it's like, oh yeah, he locked down Nebraska, and I'm like,
well, I mean, who does it? I mean,
right, exactly. Or like, he locked down.
Connor and I are about to jump in right now, corner in lockdown Nebraska.
Yeah, and me and Kenny will play D tackle. Like, Actually,
Against
no.
Nebraska.
That's what Nebraska's good at, is in the trenches. Me and Kenny could probably be tight ends.
Wait, Nebraska
Would be
actually
great.
got like the #1 recruited quarterback in this
Really?
league. Yes, Nebraska's making big moves.
Oh, Jack literally scouted him. Okay, cool.
Nebraska.
Well, Jack
I wouldn't
Jack
be
likes them.
dogging on Nebraska in these next couple years because they might.
Brother, I'm from Illinois. I will dog on Nebraska every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Like,
I really don't care, to be honest with you. I have no affiliate with any team. Actually, I usually dog more on Big Ten teams than I do anybody else. So whatever.
I just like dogging on everybody in college because people get so particular about and angry about supporting their college teams or even like the conference that their college plays in because they want to make their team seem better because they play in this really good conference. Connor,
It's like SEC football. It's the best ever.
Hey, I was watching Draft Analysts today, and they were like implying that Dallas Turner is the best because he went against SEC offenses. I could show you the clip. They were like,
okay, well then
this guy is this good against SEC
biased.
offenses.
Then they are biased.
And most of them, I think some of them played in SEC schools, so it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, you should say that.
I couldn't realistically, and this will be a hot take, and I don't care. I could not care less. Nice.
Hot takes and sausage.
I could not care less what a single one of those draft analysts has to say. You want to know why? Because Mel Kiper has called people the greatest prospect to ever live, and then they barely play it down in the NFL. It is a guessing game. I couldn't care less. Kyle sent me today. Somebody, a Bears fan, has done 321 mock drafts since the first round of last year's draft. And I'm like, I just don't care about predicting who's going to get taken where. Like, you can talk about for your team who you think might be a good fit, but even then, it is a guessing game until you get these guys in an NFL system and in an NFL building where they're getting paid to just play football. You're not going to school anymore. You're not with mommy and daddy anymore. You're not partying anymore. You are playing football for a job. And until you get them in that environment, you don't know how they're going to react. I don't know how Caleb Williams is going to react. I don't know how Dallas Turner or Romeo Odunze. Like, I don't know how these guys are going to react. I can evaluate them now, but I have no idea how they're going to translate to an NFL game that is completely different from college. So shut up with your fake little NFL draft expert selves. Not you, Connor. You're fine, other than your SEC bias. Your mock drafts are decent. But
that's what makes it so fun, though, because we get to guess. It's just a guessing game.
Okay.
We're predicting.
It's
like the weather. It's like the weather, yeah. It's like the weather. You know, people make money predicting what the weather's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, that dumb guy in Mississippi that came into Chick-fil-A all the time and was so annoying.
Don't disrespect Patrick Bigby.
I will disrespect.
Wow.
Patrick Bigby.
Hey, he is no Tom Skilling. You don't even know who Tom Skilling is.
I know who Tom Skilling is.
I don't know who Tom Skilling is, but he's no Patrick Bigby.
Brother, Patrick Bigby was the guy who came up and asked for more sauce every time he got a refill. Like,
because he wanted more sauce. Have you seen that guy? He's got a dumpy, MJ.
And with that being said, if your producer says out-of-pocket things, make sure you have some good insurance.
He's got a dump. Oh, yeah. And when you call Jeff Wertzetny at 704-464-4544, let him know Third Down Thursday sent you. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you.
All right. Well, with that being said,
needed that. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, chaos ensues, MJ. Chaos ensues.
How about that playing tournament, Bruce?
Oh, we're gonna go to play-in tournament. Well, that's like the topping on the cake. We can start there. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Well,
I'll
go ahead.
I'll start just if that is the last time that I got to see Steph, Clay, and Draymond play together, it was a great ride. I am very happy that that was the way I really got introduced into loving basketball, was watching them play for 12 years. I don't think that it'll be the last time they play together, but obviously with Clay in a contract year, Draymond's issues on and off the court this year,
Easy.
there are a lot of questions. I don't know what that team is going to look like next year. All I know is I feel real bad for Steph Curry, who averages like 2 free throws a game, gets assaulted in the lane every game, and that man just tries so hard. And then Clay goes over in that game. Draymond was decent, but like it was a rough game to watch, as potentially the last game together. So I really hope that they get another full season together. But if they don't, it's been a pleasure. 4 championships, 6 finals appearances. It's a good time.
I'll be honest, man. Ideally, I think this is the best time for you to have, because Steph Curry's game is not going to age, and I think I've made that a point to talk about previously. Because his ball handling and his skills are like with shooting, like he's the best shooter of all time. And you got Chris Paul coming back for a 20th year. Let's go.
Is he?
Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back.
I doubt he'll come back on the Warriors, but yeah.
No, he's coming back to the Warriors. Well, I think it's what I read. It was in passing that I saw it. But
he said he wanted to come back and that he was going to come back. He was probably going to come back for another year, but he wasn't sure.
Was it a 1 year? Was it a 1 year option, or was it a team option, or what was it? Do you remember?
I don't.
Anyways,
I think it was just. I think his contract just expired.
But regardless, though, I guess right now is the best time to, if you're going to change and make that transition. There we go again with the transition into a new chapter. And if you want to take advantage of Steph Curry's skill set, you might want to do that now. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can have at least maybe another run. I don't want to say title run, because it all depends on what you can do and what kind of like games you can like try to do or play, so to speak, with your finagling of the roster and whatever. But if you want to do it one more time, because like Steph Curry is not getting any older or not getting any younger, so I don't know. I think this is a good opportunity for their owner. I can't remember his name, but I love the guy. How can you love him without, I know the quote that I really like from him, like, I don't care what it costs. I want to win. I don't care if I have to pay whatever into a luxury tax. That was a great quote. And I was like, I want an owner like that. I want an owner like that for the Bulls. I want an owner like that for the Cubs. I want an owner like that for the Bears. I don't care about the White Sox, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And no, I think this is a good transition time for them. But go ahead.
They have some wiggle room, not really financially, but they do, because they've got Andrew Wiggins' max contract. I'll be perfectly honest. Yeah. Whew. Well, it was a max when he signed it. It's not a max anymore, but it's like 38 mil. You've got Jonathan Kuminga as a trade piece, who he is thought of very highly around the league after he played this year. And so you also have Moses Moody, who Steve Kerr really didn't want to play, but when he did play, he played very well. So the Warriors have trade pieces. The question is just, what do they want to do? But the Warriors historically go out and they make moves. Yes, Wiggins absolutely robbing the Warriors. He honestly, contract was worth it because he helped us win a championship in 2022. So
he played great defense, actually. I remember that.
Yeah, he was the second scoring option.
He was the replacement for Iguodala that year, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I mean, Wiggins was the primary defender and the second scoring option on their championship team in 22. So I mean, you got to be grateful for that. But right now, he's not all there. So with that being said, I think Wiggins, I mean, if you put together, I don't have a star in mind, but if you put together a package of Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga and maybe Moses Moody and a couple picks, I think you could get a very good player. I don't know who that's going to be. I think a lot of that will go down to what we'll talk about in a second with who may lose a little early in this playoff run. But if a star becomes available, I mean, nobody thought they were going to go get KD. Nobody thought they were going to trade for Chris Paul or even trade for D'Lo and then trade for Andrew Wiggins. Like, the way the Warriors have done business in the last decade is completely unlike any other franchise. And that's why they won so much. So I think they will make an attempt to keep Curry, Clay, and Draymond. And then I think the only other people who are safe are the Warriors' 2 rookies from this year, which is Brandon Pozinski and Trace Jackson Davis. They played really well, and they're very cheap. Everybody else, I think, is on the chopping block and could get traded.
Rookies, I think, are fine. The rookies are fine. I think Clay is gone, in my opinion. I think Draymond Green's gone. I really do think that you could build a roster around Wiggins and Curry. I do.
And I think Curry or Wiggins would benefit from actually being the second option because I think they tried so heavily to get Clay going this year, and eventually they did. Obviously not in the playing game against the Kings, but eventually, Clay was averaging 20 over the second half of the season on really good shooting splits, but it took them emphasizing him so much in their game plan that Wiggins kind of just fell by the wayside. So,
but hold on. You ready for this?
Yes.
You need a defensive stopper on that team, correct?
Yes, you do.
You know who the defensive stopper is going to be next year in the second round when you draft him?
Who?
Bronny James. And you know what happens with that? LeBron decides to leave the Lakers and go over to Golden State to play with his son, Steph Curry, and Andrew Wiggins, and play for one more title run so he could try to catch Jordan. I said it. That's what I wanted to tell you earlier this week. I don't know if you knew what I was going to say, but
I'm not going. I'm going to be perfectly honest. If the Warriors get LeBron, I will lose my mind.
You would. I would use it in a positive way.
Yes.
Like having LeBron James and Steph Curry on the same team, like that, that's just an a mind blown type situation, dude.
I would lose my mind. Like
it's right now. Why do you have your hoodie up, bro?
I've had my hoodie up all day.
I haven't even noticed that.
I've had my hoodie up since I got on this stream. You can ask that.
Bro, it's like a little kid right now.
Yeah, I've had my hoodie up the whole time.
How have I not noticed that until now?
I will be insufferable.
Oh, I know.
If the Warriors get LeBron,
you're already a huge pain in my ass already. I can only.
Oh, I know. But I will call you randomly and just be like, hey, like I've never gotten involved in the NBA GOAT discussion. I would just for fun. I would just call you and be like, hey, if LeBron wins this championship, he's the GOAT.
Okay. Anyways, but like I said though, I okay.
LeBron won Steph Curry too.
You heard me. You heard it dropped here. Third Down Thursdays on April. What are we?
18th?
April 18th. Boom, April 18th. That being said, though, can we please talk about how the refs gave the game to the Lakers against the Pelicans?
They did.
I don't even know if you. I don't even know. I was to say I don't even know if you watched any of that.
I've watched all the playing games. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Lakers shoot like 12 more free throws.
It was insane.
Than the Pelicans. And I will say the refs are consistently not calling as many fouls in general. That's been a huge trend across the NBA this year. It's been a big deal. The broadcasts are making a big deal about it. Well, but no, this is the fewest amount of fouls that have been called per game in a season since like the 60s.
Should be less.
What'd you say?
I said it should be less.
No, that it is.
It was a joke. Just continue.
But no, that's my point is that's the only team that's not applying to is the Lakers. They did it when the Lakers would play the Warriors all year. Like every time I watch a Lakers game, it's, the team they're playing is 10 of 14 from the line, and the Lakers are 33 of 35. Well, they're so good at shooting. so good at shooting free throws because they get so many every game.
That second quarter, though, is what really killed the Pelicans. I think they scored only 16 points. It was what 34 to 16 in that second quarter. I do want to make it a point to talk about Zion in that game. That was the first I've ever seen him like just ball out and like he looked like he was in college again.
That's the first time since his debut game.
I haven't watched as much Pelican basketball. I'm not gonna say I watched the NBA draft when he was a part of it. Nice. I watched the NBA draft when Zion was a part of it the lottery because I wanted the Bulls to get Zion. I did 100%, selfishly, but nice. However, they did not, and he has been riddled with injury and out of shape and amoeba status for his entire career. However, I saw him the other night when he played against the Lakers, and I was like, I mean, I've seen highlights and blah, 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 whatever, but I haven't actually physically watched him play. And the first thought that came to my mind was, damn, he's explosive. Like, brother, like it was more explosive than what I was doing in the bathroom a couple days ago. I'm saying, dude, like he was, dude. For those of you that didn't know, that was talked about earlier in the show. But I'm saying that block he had on LeBron that ended up like festering into a fast break. Woo!
Did you see that charge that LeBron took?
I did not.
Zion ran a train on LeBron.
Pause.
No pause. He obliterated him. In the words of our great producer, Cy, he power bombed him.
Oh, that's awesome. But you know what though? Yes. Oh, that's good.
That clip of LeBron getting a train ran on him got like 40,000 views on our Instagram. So shout out to Bron.
But dude, I'm gonna tell you, man, like he's I don't know. I really like what Zion's doing. If he can stay healthy, obviously he hurt his hamstring at the end of that game.
Yeah.
But or towards the end of that game. But I don't know if he's back for the next play-in game or not. But he's not. Yeah, see, that sucks. That sucks because like right now, if you're the Pelicans, you decide to try to move on from him and try to like get a package together to get rid of him, and because he can't stay healthy and just decide to move on, similar to what they do with Anthony Davis.
You think they're gonna? I don't think they get rid of Zion.
I mean, not yet.
AD wanted out. I don't think Zion wants out. AD wanted out.
Maybe he's a little bit quieter about it than AD was, because AD was like. Now that I remember, AD was like visibly like you wear T-shirts and shit like that, saying I want out or like I'm tired of this or something like that. Guy just wanted. You're right. Guy just wanted to get the hell out. Yeah,
he wanted to go to LA to be with his little buddy Bron.
Well, just wait until
Bron goes bye-bye.
Little Bronny Brown wants to go over to, or maybe they end up somehow getting AD and Bron over at Golden State. That'd be so stupid.
Mark my words, if they get AD and LeBron in Golden State while Steph Curry is still there, I will run through this apartment complex in my underwear. Like,
mark that. Make sure we
go ahead, mark
that
because it's not gonna happen. Hey yo, but no, like that's not gonna happen. But like that's been the Warriors' biggest problem is they never have a big man. Give me two guys who get 10 rebounds a game.
There's gonna be some meat. It's gonna be some meat, all right. All right. Next one we got 76ers versus Heat was an absolute freaking dogfight, dude.
Classic.
Like I'm not even kidding. Like that's the throwback basketball, like freaking hard defense, freaking smash mouth basketball, fun basketball, like just like getting into it physically, like unfortunately, Jimmy Butler with a sprained MCL is now out for the game against the Chicago Bulls, which we'll talk about next.
He's out indefinitely.
Yep. So he's going to be out a few weeks. Well, he's out regardless because the Bulls are winning the next game anyways because they don't have him. Well, we'll see actually because they move the ball better without Jimmy Butler. But anyway, all right. So that game was fun. Joel Embiid, despite being multiple ailments about him, and dude, Nicholas Batum, like his shooting, bro, like he was the one that brought them back in that game. Because at one point, the 76ers were down by what, 14, 15 points. And the fact that like dudes were I love that game. It was just a fun game. The NBA playoffs are all about the NBA in general, like with good NBA teams, is a game of swings. And man, let me tell you, like it was a fun game to watch. Though it was a fun game.
I really liked it because Joel Embiid didn't shy down. He was getting doubled almost every single possession, and he was throwing elbows. He was not afraid.
He was playing awesome zone defense too.
Yeah, they played. You can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think it was like a 3-2 triangle. Somebody said
the 3-2.
Yeah. So, but it was specifically because Embiid likes getting the ball a little bit higher,
which
on
helps.
The floor.
He
doesn't like getting it just in the low post because he can shoot. So he likes being able to have a little bit more floor to work with. And so they were playing that zone.
It's like a 1-3-1.
Yeah. And the extra one just traps Embiid immediately when he gets the ball.
What the 76ers did really well when they started catching on to it, and when the Heat, because I think Jimmy Butler had like freaking 5 steals. What the 76ers did to adjust was like have that baseline runner, and you saw that once he got behind the defense a few times, because Embiid was seeing the floor really, really well. Like he would catch that ball, so he was basically everything he did last night was completely what you should do as a big man that flashes to the high post. Boom, caught that ball, turned and looked. He would take that jumper, or like you attack the hole quickly because he's good, or he'd be like boom, oh see the cut, boom, and you get that pass and layup. It was awesome. It was artwork. It was like that was the epitome of what basketball should look like.
Well, what basketball should look like is that ball movement play. Last night. I don't know, Sai or Connor. I don't know if you can find it. If you just look up like ball movement polls on Twitter and see if you can find this clip from last night. Literally, it is poetry in motion.
So
and it was gorgeous.
Let's go on to that, man, because like that sequence of basketball that they had right there. So I was struggling last night to stay up because I was sick. And I tried my damnedest to stay up throughout that whole game to watch it, because I took medication, I took everything, but I was still awake during that second quarter sequence. But my God, dude, what I saw and during that, like I was like, dude, where was this? Where's this been? Why? Like this feels like 2009 all over again. The stadium was like rocking. They were swinging the sea red towels, like. People were going nuts. There was a steal. By Ayo Dosunmu, kicked it over to DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan went up, like dribbled off his leg for a second, went up, and bam, just dunked it. I'm like, where's this been? And that was after the sequence of great basketball where it was like drive, kick, boom, swing, boom, swing, boom, swing, drive, kick, boom, kick out, boom.
Well, and until the last pass, it was a beautiful defensive possession by the Hawks. They were switching perfectly. They were rotating. They were playing really good defense too. And the Bulls just refused to take a bad shot. And it was gorgeous.
100%.
Honestly, Jack,
that's 100% accurate. No. The Bulls,
let me just say this. We'll get to this more in a second when we do actual predictions.
Yeah. Oh, fair call.
I don't think the Celtics are as good as everybody think they are.
Okay, so I have the opposite. I don't think that people know how good the Celtics are. Anyway, but no. If we can get a look at that, that'd be awesome. If not a big deal. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, no, guys, like the Chicago Bulls are playing great basketball right now at the right time. The only issue I have with this though, MJ, is it gives ownership another opportunity to see, we made the playoffs. It worked. No, it hasn't. I'm sorry. The Chicago Bulls aren't a team that's going to get you like past maybe like a 5-game series, or excuse me, 5 game. Yeah, that's 5. It's 7-game series in the first round. Excuse me. Yeah, it's 5 games. But I said that. but 5 games. So meaning that the Celtics are going to win 4 and the Bulls will win 1.
Sorry. Okay.
So yeah, real quick though, I did want to touch on this. Caitlin Clark going to number 1 to the Indiana Fever.
Yeah.
And fastest selling, by the way, congratulations to her. Fastest selling jersey of all time in WNBA history. In fact, so fast that Nike said that there was a manufacturing error and they had to stop selling it, and it's not coming out again until August. How crazy is that?
Because
How
so many
crazy is
people
that?
bought it, they didn't think they would have that type of demand.
Yeah, you know what the problem is right there? Is the people that they outsource it to, those like sweatshops overseas that they're not paying them enough, and you know what I'm saying, like, come on, that's bullshit. I'm sorry, that's kind of, I mean, it's, you know, you might come insensitive and mean, but come on, you're destroying like an opportunity, like you're destroying like what this young lady's doing a little bit and kind of discrediting like anyway. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I think that's bullshit. But let's keep it positive, right? Keep it positive.
Yeah.
No, I think it's awesome. I think it's great for the game, the WNBA game. This might be the first year ever in my 40 years on Earth, MJ, that I know more WNBA players than I do NCAA, or excuse me, that I know more women's basketball players than I did men's basketball players. Not even kidding.
In college?
Yep. Not even kidding. And I thought that the storyline with Caitlin Clark and with Angel Reese was absolutely awesome. I loved it. I thought that was great. I love that the Chicago Sky ended up drafting Reese too, because guess what? You got like so out of nowhere now we have Reese and versus Caitlin Clark. Those tickets are those tickets. Have you looked at those tickets already?
No.
So those tickets for that game, I can't remember the date, but tickets for that game are starting for like the nosebleed section, $200. Front row over $1,000, and that's unheard of. That is unheard.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm not. No disrespect to Caitlin Clark specifically. I'm not doing that. I think if anybody is going to change the way that game is watched, it is Caitlin Clark. I'm not.
I love it though.
I'm not.
But dude, I love it. I think, you know what though. I really do think that there is. Okay, so so here's my old age is showing again. Okay, I remembered when the WNBA first premiered in 1995. All right.
Wow, you are old. Dang.
So, and I'm not even kidding. I can remember the old like spiel of saying like we've got next and like all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. And I can remember the original team, like Los Angeles Sparks, like the New York Liberty, like it's just the Comet, or the Mercury or whatever. Like I can remember, like I remember like those teams, and I watched the first WNBA game. And it was like Lisa Leslie and like Swoops and so like some of those cats, and like it was fine, whatever. But it was like, you know, I think that was the last like WNBA game I watched, aside from the Sky winning the championship when they got Candace Parker. And you know why I watched that? Because they had Candace Parker, and Candace Parker was good at basketball. So what do you do to get more money into your market? And this is kind of one of those
players.
Exactly. Have more talented players, and also MJ, develop a storyline. You have a storyline with Angel Reese, you have a storyline with like Caitlin Clark going against each other, but you also have 2 players that are pretty talented.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark being more so than the other, in my opinion. But
yeah,
I love it.
I watched the women's finals, college versus South Carolina. That was the first women's game I've watched in a long time, since UConn was on their run.
But you had a storyline. You had a storyline,
right?
You wanted to watch,
because it was UConn. It was Caitlin Clark versus a team that's lost like 3 games in the last 108 or whatever it was. So I mean, if there are more Caitlin Clarks that go into the WNBA, I'll watch. And it's one of those things where like I'll watch it if it comes on, but I'm not gonna like plan my night around watching.
No, and an
Indiana Fever game.
Right, I do agree with that. Like, but you know what though, I will say, like having coached girls basketball before, that's not the main reason why I'd watch. Believe me. However, having a daughter now too, though, like now I have something I'd be like, oh, see, like you can do that, like you can, like,
Sure.
get to that point. So it's like it's
You
kind
gotta
of like
start training her now.
100%. She's already made some baskets. Anyway. But all right, real quick. So we have one of our producers, Cy, that wanted to jump in on this conversation. Cy, you can jump in right now if you want.
Oh, he's going. This
Where's he
Iowa man.
I'm
going on a very small tangent. So
here we go.
Caitlin Clark getting drafted. This and WNBA drafting itself was historical. It like double, triple views of the previous most watched, which was 600K when I can't remember who got drafted, but it was in the early 2000s. But Trouser, yeah, her. Forgot about her. Oops.
Or Cam Sparker.
Yeah, everybody.
No, it was Trouser in early 2000s. But yeah, Trouser and Zuberg. But the jersey sales is what I'm really here to talk about, because I bought a jersey. I bought a jersey in the first like 10, 15 minutes of her getting drafted. Iowa fan. It was not a half bent. It was only like $100, something like that. But with just like constantly refreshing the website and seeing it go from all sizes available to like large and XL sold out right away, and then medium sold out, and then small sold out, and then 2XL sold out. And there was within like 20, 25 minutes of Caitlin Clark getting drafted, only X smalls were available. And then within 10, 15 minutes later, everything was sold out. Like,
I am curious though, like how many of hers were available versus like how many Caleb Williams jerseys will be available. Like I know it's not an app comparison, but like I'm just curious.
I'm curious too, because
like how many were actually available.
That I'm not sure.
That's a good point.
It's a great question. I want to say a good amount. Because a lot of almost everyone knew that she was going to get drafted, but
but they're not going to have. Yeah,
the largest like North American like sport versus the sport that traditionally has is a fairly new A and B just got notoriety because they had one player or two players, three players that were like as significant as they were. No, but I get it.
Hey, guess who has Caitlin Clark jerseys right now?
Fanatics.
Oh, they restocked.
Let's go. Make sure you guys use our Third Down Thursdays link.
Once I figure out what it is.
Subtle, bro. But the last thing I want to note on this is Caitlin Clark's draft sales were the most since Trevor Lawrence got drafted. Like her sales broke a record for like draft night sales across any sports since Lawrence, which pretty big deal.
And that answers some of my quantity questions.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to follow yours up with. So there was definitely a lot available because she broke more records. Go figured. But that's all I'd have.
No later than August 14th. That's so dumb.
Hey, mine's coming on May 15th.
I wasn't lying when I said August.
You were not lying. This is the second. They gotta get the first wave jerseys out. But that's all I had to say. WNBA is going to be interesting to watch, and the fact that their courtside ticket prices are now double of what NBA courtside ticket prices are.
$1,900 for that game.
Insane. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Si.
Bye-bye.
Why did he say bye like that?
Bye-bye.
Like, after talking about WNBA, he went like this. Bye. What does that mean, Si?
Yikes. Anyway,
with that, make sure you have good homeowners. Oh, where's it at?
Here's to the grown-ups. Your car is now your office, stage, nursery. Sorry, Erie Insurance offers products that lots of other companies don't. That's a big deal, and it's a good deal, too. And with Erie, you get your own independent agent, not a giant corporate call center or some online robot. You meet with a real person, like this.
Your local Erie agent is Building Block Insurance Group. Get a quote today at 704-464-4544.
Erie Insurance.
And when you call Jeff, we're tapping at 704-464-4544. Let him know that Third Down Thursday sent you, and he will hook you up with some great rates. MJ, our last little segment before we decide to jump into our fireside chat. Wow, we haven't done a fireside chat in a long time. It's kind of weird.
You right.
Let's get into our NBA predictions, huh?
Oh no, it's not fireside chat yet. It's high. Good try.
Oh, my bad. Now you're good.
It was kind of.
All right, playoff talk. Let's go.
All right, are we just gonna do? Because I don't have a bracket in front of me or anything. Is that available? That's available.
Yeah,
okay, I'll find it.
But the only problem with it is it doesn't have the play-ins.
That's fine. None of them are gonna make it far anyway.
Fair enough. All right, first round. Let's go Western Conference first. First round would be the Thunder versus to be determined.
Okay. It's either Kings or Pelicans. Yeah, Thunder win that. I don't care.
What are the games?
What are the games? Like how many games?
What are the games? So you guys
Thunder in 6.
I like that actually. Thunder in 6 against the Kings.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the Kings will give them a little bit of chaos, but they're not going to win a series.
Okay, so this matchup is the one that kind of intrigues me. Okay. Clippers versus Mavericks.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Kawhi Leonard is going to lock up.
Oh my God! Here we go,
Mr. Po Boy. Like, okay, I watched Luka play in person.
I heard what you said.
I watched him play in person,
and it just light him up, and I was like, no.
It just confirms that I
absolutely nothing.
No, it confirms. Like I watched Kyrie Irving play in person, and then I watched Luka Doncic, and I'm like, Kyrie Irving is 10 times more talented than Luka Doncic. 100%. Like if you give Kyrie Irving the usage that they give Luka and also added 6 inches to his height.
That's such a trash argument. You can't make that argument though.
But
how can you make that argument?
But I can. Every player's numbers would change if you gave them the highest usage in NBA history. Like Russell Westbrook during his MVP year didn't even have this type of usage.
That's the reason why they have a per. That's the reason why they have a. What are the other?
No, that's not. That's
WAR.
That's per 36.
Yeah, but that's also
minutes.
the reason why they have WAR. That's the reason why they have other advanced metrics that can help with you to determine usage.
But usage is the advanced metric to show if the numbers are legit. Because per is for somebody who doesn't play a full amount of minutes. Usage shows me, okay, are they doing this on a low volume? Are they efficient? Or is it high volume?
Trying to make an argument when there's no argument to be made. Luka Doncic is a good basketball player.
My argument is when you get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, 2 of the premier perimeter defenders in the NBA right now, I think the Mavericks are going to get locked up and look pretty stupid. Because outside of Kyrie and Luka, they got nothing.
Agreed.
They have nothing on that basketball team. And
I think Jason Kidd does a really good job of coaching that team now.
Yeah. But the Mavericks don't have anybody to defend PG and Kawhi. No, you tell me Derek Jones.
I do agree.
You tell me Derek Jones Jr. is going to lock down PG.
And it's playoff basketball. And no way
so they're going to give it to Kawhi 30 times at his little LeBron elbow shots. And he's going to palm the basketball. And, Dorian Finney-Smith or Derek Jones are just going to quake in their boots and cry and wish they could go home to mama. So Clippers in 5.
Clippers in wow. At least I'm not actually mad at that.
Clippers in 5.
Clippers in 5. Okay,
I'm going to tweet it right now.
All right, Timberwolves, Suns.
Oh, Suns are about to get embarrassed.
See, I actually think this is where they come. I don't know, man. They've been playing like doo-doo this whole year. And they just barely got out of the play-ins.
Who, the Suns? Yeah.
1 to 2 games separate amongst
KD hasn't done anything since he left Golden State.
Anything.
Timberwolves in 6.
I'm gonna go with my first instinct. Suns in 7. Suns in 7. The only reason why I'm gonna go with Suns in 7 also is because that was my first basketball game I watched holding my daughter. Is the Suns basketball game. All right,
Fair.
next one. Weird, I know. I get it. Whatever. Nuggets Lakers.
Huh.
Nuggets Lakers.
I love that Lakers fans are hyping this up to be like, oh, this is our
LeBron.
revenge.
This is the LeBron James ability to show he's the GOAT.
This is if we're gonna win the finals, we got to go through the Nuggets anyway. So we may as well get them out of the way early, brother. You got embarrassed by the Nuggets last year. Jokic was hitting like circus level stuff from beyond the arc on Anthony Davis, who's supposed to be one of the best defenders in the league. The Nuggets are about to embarrass the Lakers again. The Lakers barely got into the playoffs, and you're telling me that they're going to lose to the Nuggets?
Got past the Pelicans. There ain't no way that they're no.
And you're telling me that the reigning champs with the best player on this earth right now are going to struggle?
Sorry, my bad.
Champion. Yeah. You think that the Nuggies are going to struggle? Like, Jokic going to be snacking on some Nuggies on the bench while you're getting blown out by 40.
Okay, I'm going to say 4-0 Celtics. Or,
Same.
Celtics. Nuggets sweep. Well, all right, we had Thunder and Clippers. Thunder and Clippers. I'll go first. I think the Thunder are too young. I think this is a learning experience for them. I'm going to go with the Clippers. I'm going to say Clippers in 6.
Ooh.
Even though I do like the Thunder a lot. I love that team. I think that, yeah, I know. I get it. I really do like that team, but I don't know what I really, really like the Clippers.
So my only problem, and the only reason I'm gonna lean the way I am, which is Clippers in 7, is the Thunder do not have a true secondary closer. If Kawhi has an off night, the Clippers have Paul George. If Paul George has an off night, the Clippers have Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
SGA has never closed out a playoff series. The Thunder are not even making the conference finals.
I'll make that bet. You want to make that bet? Sty, you want that bet? You want that? You can jump on sides, okay. Want to talk that smoke?
Let's put some money on this. How much money we bet? Because I think that the youngness and the inexperience, these boys got nothing to lose. Let them play.
I hate that.
I love that Sai started paying attention to the Thunder in like January.
Exactly.
And he's
why? TikTok, baby. That's the reason why. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Hey,
TikTok
at least
is the reason why I'm honestly even back in NBA basketball.
At least he's honest, unlike Connor, who just rides the SEC.
I am.
Wow, Connor, Connor, you want in on this too?
Believe me, I want to root for the Bulls and Kobe White, but like I just don't know how far the Bulls can get.
We're not talking. We're not talking about the Bulls.
I know we're not talking about the Bulls, but I think the Thunder make a run because nobody's going to expect them to do it. That's why they're going to. They have nothing to play for.
You want to know the other reason they don't make a run? They have no bench.
True.
They're not really good starting 5.
You know what I see them as? Okay, legitimately, you know what I see the Thunder as right now? I see them as a Chicago Bulls team that's a very try-hard team in the regular season and then get freaking lit up in the playoffs because teams have experience. They save themselves for it. Hence the Clippers, who had guys that were sitting out, that were not eligible for the MVP talk because said people were sitting out.
Because also the Clippers have James Harden and Russell Westbrook, who we didn't even mention.
True, yes.
Who have more playoff experience.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, who have more playoff experience than every person.
When have the Clippers been successful in the playoffs in the past? They haven't.
The Clippers have never had a stacked team like this.
The
Clippers are 10 deep in their rotation.
They are 10 deep.
And they can play 10 deep in the playoffs.
Pause.
Thank you.
The Thunder are 6 deep in their rotation. And who I would actually trust to play in the playoffs.
That's accurate.
It's like
So-
it's like six. They're gonna
Get
have
it?
to play an 8-man rotation. They're gonna have to play an 8-man rotation, and those last
I don't
two
even
guys
know
are
if
gonna
you
be
can-
sketchy.
I don't even know if you can
It's-
play 8. Who
All right, we don't
plays?
have enough time.
It's just
Hey,
it's
hey, we don't
case
have
in
enough
point.
time for all.
Case in point, I'm running with the Thunder. That's just because that's what I want to do, and I will put money on it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll own up to it.
All right.
That's all.
All right, we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk, Si. All right, next one. All right, so we had Thunder. So you and I both. All right, you had the Clippers going too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Clippers in 6. You had them in 7.
Yeah.
Next round. Ooh, this is where we differed though. I had the Suns. You had the Timberwolves.
Yeah. So
And then, but we both had the Nuggets.
yeah, I think the Nuggets beat either of those two.
Yeah, same. So I'll say Nuggets in 5. I'm not
Yeah.
even kidding.
5 or 6. Yeah, I'm fine
All
with
right,
that. And then we've
so-
got Nuggets versus Clippers.
Correct. This is tough. Oof. This is tough. Oh man, this is tough. It's gonna go to 7. This one's gonna go to 7. I'm gonna go Nuggets. The Nuggets in 7. That was tough. That's actually a really tough one for me.
See, like I would have the depth concerns with the Nuggets, but like those guys mostly just play the whole game when it
And
gets
like
to the playoffs.
like with Murray, like with like just that team is just
Like Aaron Gordon and Jokic don't leave the game for the most part, and then Murray, their backup point
Man.
guard,
yeah.
Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, you're fine. He's fine.
Yeah, he's averaging 10 points a game off the bench in 20 minutes, so he's actually putting up pretty good numbers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nuggets.
I'll go Nuggies in 7.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we got the Nuggets representing the Western Conference. Let's go to the Eastern Conference. Where it could get a little bit more interesting. Maybe not. We'll see. Oh, yes, it
Oh
can.
no,
Yes,
I'm
it
gonna
will.
have some
Yeah.
outlandish takes here. I'm gonna have
here
some
we go.
outlandish takes.
First round. I'm going to say it already. Celtics versus Bulls in the first round. I think the Bulls get at least one, but I am going to fan a little. And if they play the way they did last night against the Hawks, I think they can get at least 2 against the Celtics. So I'm going to say the Celtics in 6.
I actually don't hate that.
Word.
I'll give you Celtics in 6.
Cavaliers and Magic.
Magic in 6.
See, I'm gonna go chalk. I'm gonna go Cavaliers. Cavaliers in 6. Just because I like
I
Donovan
really
Mitchell a
like
lot.
that Magic team.
No, they're and like what's funny is like they're freaking outlandish as always. Yeah, apparently. What sucks too though about that team, about that Magic team is like you got Wendell Carter that came from the Bulls, and he's whatever. Anyway,
Jalen
Bucks-
Suggs is a Chicago boy.
Yeah. Bucks Pacers.
I think the Pacers win.
There it is. That's the first one. What's the what do you got for games?
I think in 7, but Giannis hurt his calf at the end of the season, and there is no guarantee that he is fully healthy.
I don't like what they've been doing all season. I think that was a mistake. That
They've just been on some weird stuff all season,
got rid-
and the Pacers have just been on a good, healthy track. They got a little bit of momentum. If anybody's gonna just go on some crazy run, it would be Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers.
So I do okay. So I like where you're coming from with that take, only because also I didn't like the Doc Rivers acquisition after being like 12 or 13 games over 500 or whatever they were. I thought that it was a move that was done because the players hated the coach, which was crap. It was obvious though too that like even having Doc Rivers as their coach, who was the players' coach, everyone knows that he's a players' coach, hasn't helped whatsoever either. I'm gonna go Bucks only because they have better talent. You know what I'm saying? Like they have better talent, but I wouldn't be mad if the Pacers did it. I'm gonna say Bucks and I'll say Bucks in 7.
Also, I can't wait for Pat Bev to get exposed by Tyrese Halliburton in these playoffs.
Hey,
I'm just saying it now.
It's another Chicago guy. Come on now. Knicks 76ers.
Bye-bye, Knicks.
I would say it's another try-hard Thibodeau team.
Bye-bye, Knicks.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, you're cool and all in the regular season. If you want to tell me with a straight face that Isaiah Hartenstein is stopping Joel Embiid, I will laugh you off of any platform. Like,
yeah, I got 76ers. I got 76ers in 6.
I got them in 5. I don't think the Knicks barely even get to breathe in this series.
I don't know, man. With Thibodeau, dude, he's an amazing coach. I got to give him more credit than that.
I mean, I have no affection for him, so I don't care.
All right, you got Celtics and you got Celtics Mavericks. Celtics Magic. I got Celtics Cavaliers. I got Celtics. I got Celtics in 5. Whatever, it doesn't matter who it is to me.
I'll give the Celtics this one. I'll make them lose in the next round. It's fine.
All right, I got Bucks. You got Pacers against the 76ers. This would be an interesting matchup.
I think Sixers win both of those.
I think so too. Same. I think so too. I think the Sixers against the Bucks. I think the Sixers win in 7, and in for the Pacers.
Unless Giannis is like fully healthy.
Yes, but I don't think he is.
But I don't think he is. And this is the type of calf injury that took down Kobe, that took down KD. They both had a calf strain like this before they tore their Achilles. So I would be very worried about that if I was the Bucks playing Giannis.
Knock on wood.
Just saying.
All right. Wow, don't bring that bad juju on him.
I'm just
I know.
It up.
I got you. All right, so next round we got Celtics and you got all right, Celtics and 76ers.
So good, you can go first and then I'll.
You're gonna rant, I know you are. All right, I got the Celtics winning this game. I think the perimeter play is elite compared to the 76ers. I'm sorry, I do. And while I think Embiid is an absolute stud, I think he's the only one that's going to be able to lead that team this far. And I'm sorry, I just don't think that they can get past this point against the Celtics. So let's go Celtics in 6.
So, and I know Jack's in the comments and he'll get mad and I really don't care. On paper, I don't think that the 76ers beat the Celtics. I think the Celtics will get wiped by the Nuggets in the finals. And I think the Celtics will get exposed playing Joel Embiid and give Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets the perfect formula to beat them. I think that series will, if that happens, will go to 7. Embiid versus the Celtics. And I think Kristaps Porzingis will get exposed for having to actually play man defense for an entire 7-game series against true
Jokic?
center. No, against Embiid.
Oh, sorry.
Then against Jokic, yeah. But first against Embiid. Jokic is a little bit more Kristaps speed, a little bit more, I'm here, now I'm here. Embiid is just going to back you down 40 times in a game.
And then he'll pull up for a 3 when he's a freaking trailer, too.
Exactly. So, Kristaps, that's supposed to be his game, except Embiid is bigger and he is stronger and he is more skilled. So, I think the Celtics win the rest of the matchups. Obviously, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are better scorers than the Sixers have outside of Embiid. Drew Holiday is a better defender than anybody that the Sixers have. But I think Embiid is going to ruin the Celtics' chance of winning the finals because he is going to give the Nuggets, who play a very similar 2-man game with Murray and Jokic, that the Sixers do with Maxey and Embiid. They're going to give them the perfect game plan and 7 games worth of tape on how to beat up on the Celtics. Because I'm sorry, if the aging Warriors were able to beat up on the Celtics, what are the Nuggets going to do who are even more efficient and a more modern offense.
The perimeter play from the Warriors, though, is better in my opinion than. And then you have Curry who can shoot, and the threat of shooting from Klay Thompson because you can't drop players.
Yeah, except that's what the Celtics are supposed to be able to do now is defend on the perimeter. They got exposed in 22, and so they're like, okay, now we got Jaylen Brown, we got Jason Tatum, and we got Drew Holiday, and Derek White. Like they're supposed to, all 5 of their guys are supposed to be able to defend on the perimeter. Okay, well then we're gonna pick and roll and kill you in the paint. And that's what the Nuggets will do to them. So then to go to the finals, Nuggets versus Celtics.
Yeah, I got Nuggets. I got Nuggies.
I got Nuggets in 5. I think they embarrassed the Celtics.
I got Nuggets in 6. I was gonna go. I was really thinking Celtics, but I don't know. I was going Nuggets, and I'll go Nuggets in 5. Oh,
did I actually convince you?
Not completely, because I'll be honest with you, there was a part of me that I actually have a bet in on FanDuel right now that the Clippers winning the championship. So I put that in like months ago.
I think it could happen.
It'd be pretty sick to actually get that, but hardly be my first. That's what she said. Sorry, I have The Office on in the background too.
Hey, yo.
Hey, but anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's about that time for the first time in a long time.
A quick 5-minute fireside chat.
We'll slow it down for you. What you guys
slow it down?
Think about it. Oh, we still have it. Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, it's in there. It's in there. Did you see the outlandish thing that Aaron Rodgers said the other day?
About how the United States or how the government created HIV and AIDS. Dude, like he's a part of that conspiracy shit. Like, come on.
I'm so happy he's gone, bro. I'm so happy he's gone.
But you know what though? You gotta think of this.
Don't get me wrong.
He's got the platform now in New York where anything he says, he can get like every kind of like reaction that he wants, or just a reaction in general. That's exactly what he wants. And God bless him. Like, whatever. If that's what you want, if you want attention, negative or positive, good for you. You're going to get it. You're sure as hell going to get it.
Listen here, Aaron.
I just looked down at I just looked at my monitor and I saw a figurine moving and I'm like, what the hell? You know what? I'm going to use it for the last few minutes. What the fuck is that?
We were so close to an entire 2-hour show. It was so close. But I'm always going to love him as a quarterback. As a person, he can go suck it.
Aaron Rodgers for president.
He's just great. He's so dumb.
He's so outlandish with his remarks. It's like what are you doing? Like what?
I truly do not understand. Oh, real quick. Shout out to Mr. Ruiz on the Oakland A's, who got screwed out of a couple weeks in the majors because the A's are trying to manipulate his service time. The first day he comes back, he pinch hits in like the 7th inning of a game in Oakland.
Drops a bomb.
408 feet to left center. Just yanks one. And then the next day gets the start, first at bat. Bang! Another one. Just the biggest FU to John Fisher.
Are you going to follow the Yankees? Are you going to follow the A's when they go to Vegas? Like, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You can't just adopt a new team. That is
I don't know, because
that's such a weird thing. I have never gone through any of that, by the way.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying is like they're going to be in Sacramento for 2 years and then theoretically go to Vegas. And I don't know. And this may sound weird, but like if they change their colors, I don't know if I'll like that might be a deciding factor. Like because I have a bunch of A's stuff, and if they change it, I'm not going to want to buy more stuff.
You'd have the throwback gear though. Like you'll be
but
like, oh, he's cool. He's cool. He's old. He has the throwback gear.
Yeah, trust me, I get enough of that at work already.
I was about to say, welcome to that world.
Right? No, you would love it. All the kids at work think I'm like 35. I'm just like, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm not old yet.
Well, I'm just kidding.
Well, but yeah, I don't know what I'll do when the A's move. I mean, since I'm the only change I would make would be to the Rangers because I'm in Dallas. And so if I were gonna make a change, that would be the only change I would make. But I wouldn't want to seem like a bandwagon because they just won the World Series. It really would be because I live here now and plan on staying here for a while. MJ true age is 43. Why'd you have to out me? Yeah, I'm actually a middle-aged man. Guess the truth is out. Yeah. Get off my lawn. Anyway, is that right?
Dude, you'll get to that point.
Yeah, I've also got a pair of slightly used white New Balances.
I use the shit out of my New Balances. Those things are amazing.
I know they are.
They were. They were my
legitimately
running shoes, and then I used them for my lawn mowing shoes, and then I threw them out because there was a hole in them.
Legitimately, whenever I do have a child, I hope that's how Paige tells me, is by buying me a pair of white New Balances.
White Balances.
Yeah, white Balances. Because like those are the white suburban dad shoe, and like I will wear those.
You know what she's gonna have to do first, though, right?
Stroke that thing, cuzzo.
That being said, ladies and gentlemen,
no, I got one thing. I got one thing. I do have one thing. All right, so if you went on a little rant right there about the A's, I got to do this much for the guys that represent the Chicago White Sox. So I don't know if you even heard about this, MJ. They are looking to acquire land in Chicago that is owned by a citizen of Iraq. Excuse me. And apparently there is some weird correlation with Blagojevich, Obama, some other people. It's kind of muddled the acquisition of this land that the White Sox want to build a stadium on. One that's employed by Reinsdorf to say I know for a fact people aren't going to approve this, so I want to move the team to Tennessee. Or two, it's the typical Illinois, Chicago thing where money is getting laundered somewhere and put in somebody's pocket that people are talking about and they didn't know about it until that suddenly a team wants to build a stadium on this land that's been barren for years and years. I just think that it's just a representation of what a owner that just collects money and got lucky one time in the 1980s, drafted Michael Jordan, ended up owning the Bulls and the White Sox, and got lucky in 2005 with some bullshit run that they made. And then, boom, all of a sudden it caused him to have some kind of representation. You had the best player of all time, and then you had a lucky run in 2005, 2006. You're a clown, you're an idiot, and everyone knows it. That's the reason why people aren't going to games anymore.
Yeah, the White Sox had fewer people at their game the other day than the A's did.
Yeah, there you go. And that's how it should be. Even though they somehow they split the series yesterday against the Royals.
The A's won the series here in Dallas against the Rangers. I was like, what the heck? It was just because
I will say that the one thing I'll say is from what I've seen, the White Sox have had pretty decent starting pitching from their young guys, though. So that's promising for them. And the Cubs are doing Cub things. The Cubs are doing Cub things. I love it. White Sox
Stadium sucks. You know how great it is to go to a baseball game and not worry about getting shot?
Their food is true.
It's awesome.
The food at US Cellular is really good.
Yeah, it is. I walked.
But even though even like the tailgating sucks there, and like they said, oh tailgate. It opens an hour before the freaking game, and it takes like how long? If you have a charcoal grill, how long does it take for the charcoal to warm up and get ready to con?
And there's those giant not staircases, but ramps in and out of the stadium. So it takes like 30 minutes to get to your seat once you like scan in. So it's just, yeah, why would I warm up my grill just to turn it off right after? It's so stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Anyways.
Just one more thing. So they count tickets sold. They do not count bodies that walked in. So every season ticket counts for every game.
Yeah, because it's a sold ticket.
Yeah. So there could be 100 people at the game, and it would say something like that because of all of the season tickets. So those numbers are always going to be inflated.
Have you actually seen that, by the way? Did you actually see the stadium, like US Cellular? Did you see?
Yeah, it was literally empty.
It was barren, dude. Like there was like not even behind the stage. Like there was nothing.
Yeah, you could have just walked up to behind the plate.
I was about to say that is the epitome of walking from all the way up here by the
free seat upgrades.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you buy whatever ticket you want when you get there.
Listen, that's just gonna look better if I'm down here. Okay, let me sit down here.
Yeah. Got to make the camera shots look better.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, MJ. Bruce, it has been a pleasure as always.
Somehow we went through a whole fireside. We did a whole 2 hours. I mean, granted, we had CD.
We had Connor for a while. Yeah.
And Ty on for a little bit, but it was kind of nice doing a little old school run.
Yes, sir. Next week.
I forgot how much I enjoyed your company.
Right? We actually get along. That's crazy. Next week, Cy and Jackson, co-host of Beer vs. Ivy, will be in person in Detroit, Michigan for the 2024 NFL Draft. So make sure to follow them on all their socials. Get acquainted with them before the draft. They will be there for all of TDT Media's coverage. We will have a big first-round show next Thursday. Oh, yeah. We'll have a NFL draft version of Third Down Thursdays next week with all of the guys, Nate, Kenny, Cy, Jackson, Connor, and more. So make sure to tune in to that. We will start next week no later than 6:30 Central Time. So make sure to be here for that. As always, thank you to producer Cy Ingersoll in the background, executive producer Connor Davis. My name is MJ. That's Coach Bruce. We will see you next week.
Yeah!
Give me the card, guy. Hey, Bruce.
Oh, yeah?
Huh.